Hi guys, I'm Samantha.
I'm Elisa, and welcome to Watch for Deer. Hey guys, welcome back to episode 5 of Watch for Deer. So, how was your weekend, Sam?
It was pretty busy. I had a meeting yesterday in Charleston, and I didn't get home to 3, and I didn't sleep good the night before. So I came home and I crashed for like an hour, and then I got up and fed all the animals. And that's pretty much what I did. Yeah. I was pretty busy yesterday.
It was a long weekend.
It was a long weekend.
So before we get started with our story today, we kind of want to go over and explain to you guys what our podcast is about. So I love true crime. I love things paranormal, all things morbid. Samantha, however, does not.
No, I do not.
The way this podcast works is I research a murder, a serial killer, a paranormal event, and I bring it to Samantha and I tell the story, and that's what it is me telling her about my story, my case, my research, whatever.
And I've never heard the story before, so when you all are hearing it, I'm hearing it at the first time, and it's solely my reaction, which is pretty nice because really the only thing I have to do through the week is just show up here.
Pretty much.
That's it.
So she kind of has the better end of the deal.
I do.
I usually do all the recording. I do all the research. I edit all the videos. And really, she just sits here and I tell her stories.
Yeah.
I mean, but I did get you a present for this case.
You got me a present
I got you a present for this case. Do you want to, like an actual present? Are you ready?
I don't know. Wait. What? You just put your hand behind your back really fast, and it scared me. So don't do that, because I don't trust you anymore. Because some of the things that you have said here lately, you're like, oh, you know what that smells like in what episode 2 or whatever.
What about animal flesh burning?
And you were like animal flesh burning. No, I don't know what that smells like. And just some of the things that you have said has really disturbed me. I've known you for a long time, but I feel like I have really gotten to know you over these past 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Like inside your mind. And it bothers me.
It bothers me.
So if you want to give me I'm going to need you to do it slowly.
Okay. Are you ready for your present?
Yes. Okay. Her hands behind her back.
You ready?
Yeah. What is it?
You're going to need these for this episode.
Okay. It's a bottle of Tums. I keep telling her that she's giving me ulcers.
I just wanted to, adequately prepare you for this episode.
Go ahead and take some. Go ahead and take them now.
Okay. Are we ready?
No, apparently I'm not if I need medication for this episode.
Today, I decided to bring Samantha a love story. She's all the time wanting something about love. Why can't we do something with love? Why can't we do this? So I decided to give her just that.
I think love is what makes the world go round. It is wonderful being in love. Do you remember that first feeling of being in love? And it's such a good feeling. And why you can't tell me stories of love and let me relive all of those good gooey
warm
feelings
and fuzzies
is beyond me. But you want to tell me how people come to a terrible death. Terrible. And I sit here. It's my fault. I show up.
It is 100% your fault.
It's my fault I show up.
Today, I am going to tell the story of a couple from Great Britain. So we're leaving America now. We're flying across the ocean. And voila, we are in Great Britain.
Okay.
So this couple was together for decades. They were literally made for each other.
Okay.
Do you have any guess of what or who this couple would be?
Just by you saying they were made for each other? How?
Okay.
Did I know?
So I'm going to tell you the story of Fred and Rose West. But first, let's learn about Fred and his life growing up. So let's learn who Fred is. Frederick Walter Stephen West was born September 29th of 1941 in Much Marcle in Herefordshire. He was one of 8 children in the family, although only 6 of those children had survived. He was born to Walter Stephen West and Daisy Hannah Hill. Walter and his wife were poor farmers, but This family was close-knit. He was a disciplinarian, and his mom was way overprotective. This alone should raise a red flag. Living on a farm, Fred was no stranger to working. Back then, this is how a family survived.
Back then, when? Have you said a year yet?
I did, 1940s.
Okay. Did you say that?
I did. He was born September 29th, 1941.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Growing up, Fred was a scruffy, dim, and lethargic boy and was often referred to in the town as, and we all love this word here from West Virginia, a country bumpkin.
He was a country bumpkin in Great Britain?
Yes.
Oh, is that a thing?
Apparently.
Okay.
Being from West Virginia, aren't we all?
I bet you his country bumpkin is not
like our country bumpkin.
It's not the same as our country bumpkin, no.
No. He was regularly in trouble, but was still his mom's favorite. By Fred's own account, sexual abuse was common within their household.
Oh, my Lord!
As his father had sexual relationships with the sisters and had taught Fred bestiality.
I don't even know what to say.
It is also believed, but never confirmed, that his loving mother also sexually abused Fred, beginning at the age of 12.
I hate you.
Sorry.
I just so much. Like, I just hate you so much.
So much in a paragraph, wasn't it? It was a lot. It was heavy.
Well, go ahead and tell me about what's her face now, because it's hard telling what's happened to her.
We're not done about Fred.
Of course we're not. Why would we be?
Let's just continue with Fred.
Yes, please.
Okay, thank you. Throughout his life, he remained barely literate, but displayed an aptitude in woodworking and art. Unfortunately, he left school at the age of 15 to become a laborer on a farm. And by 1957, at the age of 16, Fred and his brother John would frequent a youth club in their nearby town where he would aggressively pester the young ladies by approaching them and fondling them.
So you mean he would sexually assault them?
Yes. When a young lady would accept his advances, he was only worried about his own gratification. A year later, in 1958, Fred would fracture his skull, break his arm, and a leg in a motorcycle accident. He was unconscious for 7 days and had to use braces to walk for several months after this accident. Because of this, Fred developed an extreme fear of hospitals, and later he became prone to fits of rage. I mean, probably because he has brain damage. So,
did it say he had brain damage, or are you just throwing that out there?
No, brain damage will do that to a person.
But did it say brain damage?
Yes, brain. Do you want to read?
Say it again.
Brain damage.
Am I blacking out? I heard all the other stuff, but...
Fractured his skull, break his arm and leg. He was unconscious for several days.
I just heard the leg and arm.
About 2 years later, Fred suffered another head injury. You're going to love this. When he was groping a girl on a fire escape, she hauled off and knocked the shit out of him.
Nice.
He fell from 2 floors high.
I like it. I like it. You go, British girl.
Go,
you go
British girl.
You go, girl.
In June of 1961, Fred's younger 13-year-old sister, Kitty, told their mother, Daisy, that Fred had been raping her since the previous December and had at one point even impregnated her. Fred was quickly arrested on the charges of incest and rape, and he freely admitted to the police that he had indeed been molesting younger girls since his early teens. Why did they not sentence this guy then and throw the book at him? What is wrong with our systems?
I don't know. I don't know.
When asked why by the police, do you know what his reply was?
Mm-mm.
Doesn't everybody do it? So this particular statement to me just confirms what we said in the beginning, that he was raised in a home where this was normal behavior.
I mean, if he thinks that everybody does that, yes,
he thinks everybody, this is a normal behavior, normal reaction. Doesn't everybody do it? So that just kind of confirms what we said about him in the beginning, with his parents doing that. Fred was tried November 9th, and even though his mom was disgusted by his actions, she did prepare to testify in his defense. But right before Kitty's scheduled testimony, she changed her mind and refused to testify against her brother. So the case fell through, and at the age of 19, Fred would be arrested again for molesting a 13-year-old girl. He never served time for this either, as the doctor said that he was just suffering from epileptic fits. And after this incident, most of his family disowned him, and they sent him to live with his older sister for a little while. Okay. As one should. Fred was able to eventually move back to Muchmarkel, his hometown, but unfortunately he could not hold down a job, and he was caught numerous times stealing. Eventually, Fred met back up with his ex-girlfriend, Catherine Rena Costello, who had also had a prior history of theft. She was currently pregnant with a child from another man of Asian descent. Now, the reason I say this is an important detail later in the story.
Okay.
Fred and Rena married, and Fred instructed her to write to her parents explaining that their child had passed away during childbirth, and they had adopted this baby. So what he wanted her to do was, when they got back together, she was already pregnant with this other man's baby.
Okay.
He had her write to her parents, saying, well, mine and Fred's baby, we had a baby, it died, we adopted this Asian baby.
But it was actually her child.
It was actually her child, just another man.
Okay.
Yep. And this tidbit of information you'll see throughout this story. So that's why I kind of pointed it out, to just make you aware of this child. They named her Charmaine Carroll and moved to Scotland. Fred demanded sex every day from Rena, every single day. And not just your good old missionary style either. The couple had their own daughter, who was Anne, in July of 1964. And Fred treated his children horribly. He kept them in the bottom of a bunk bed with bars fitted to the space between the bunks. So you have your bunk bed, you've got your top and bottom. He put bars over that middle section, and he would place and hold the children in that bed.
So he had them in jail.
In that cell. Yeah.
In jail.
He created a cell with their beds. Yep. They were only allowed out when he was at work. So what an amazing dad. If he was home, they were jailed. They were locked up.
I don't have anything to say.
Fred worked as an ice cream truck driver in Scotland. And this, of course, was a terrible idea. This job gave him access to plenties of young women. This career ended abruptly when Fred accidentally ran over a 4-year-old boy.
Oh my gosh.
And this was actually an accident. This wasn't anything that was done intentional. It was just one of those freak accidents. After this, Fred and his family, along with their sitter, Isa McNeil, and a friend of Anne's, Anna McFall, moved to Gloucestershire, where he began working at a slaughterhouse. This seems like a great job for him. Lovely. Anne and Fred's marriage finally ended, and she went back to Scotland by herself.
She didn't take the kids?
She did not take the kids. Mom of the year right here, y'all. So a little bit later, she does come back because she is missing her daughter. She finds that Fred is now in a relationship with 18-year-old Anna McFall, who was the nanny, that had come with the friend of the nanny that had come live with them. So remember, Fred, his family, along with their babysitter Isa, and Isa's friend, or Anne's friend, Anna.
Okay.
So he gets in a relationship with Anna McFall. My cat just attacked me. Sorry. 18-year-old Anna becomes pregnant, and she tries to get Fred to divorce Anne. And in a fit of rage, Fred killed, dismembered, and buried her at the edge of a cornfield. Now remember, she was pregnant at the time with Fred's unborn child. Mm-hmm. When her remains were found, her finger bones were missing from her body, believed to be taken as trophies. Anne Costello finally leaves Fred for good, however, still leaving both of the daughters with Fred.
Again, nothing. I've got nothing.
You've got nothing?
I literally
no comments?
have nothing.
Okay.
I don't know what to say.
Okay, so now we've kind of covered Fred and got to know Fred West and his childhood, his adolescence. Let's talk about his wife, Rosemary. So who is Rosemary? Rosemary Pauline Letts was born November 29th, 1953, in Northam, Devon, to William Bill Letts and Daisy Gwendolyn Fuller.
Now, is this his first wife?
No, so this is actually his second wife. Rose was 5 of 7 kids, born into a very, very poor family. Right off the bat, her entire household was troubled and abusive. Her dad, Bill, was a schizo who constantly was disciplining her, her siblings, and even her mother. Rose was sexually abused by her father. She wasn't very bright and she was overweight, so she was consistently bullied, and she attacked back aggressively.
Rose did?
Rose, yes.
And she was bullied?
She was bullied, yes.
And she really gave it back to him?
She gave it back to him, which I'm all about that. I cannot stand a bully.
Neither can I.
Cannot stand a bully. So they got what they got, whatever. They shouldn't have been bullying.
Yeah. So I'm okay with that.
I'm okay with that. Kudos to Rose.
Mm-hmm.
When she hit puberty and began developing, she was fascinated with her new body. She would parade around the home naked and was even caught getting into bed with one of her younger brothers, who was 9 at the time. She would eventually repeatedly fondle him. Rose pursued relationships with older men, and eventually this led to her being raped. At the age of 15, Rose's mom took her and they left Bill. Unfortunately, Rose does move back in with her abusive father, and not long after, she meets Fred West, and while she's waiting at a bus stop. And her father strongly objected her seeing Fred. And
as he should have.
I almost feel, though, like this wasn't like just a dad looking out for his daughter. I think he was jealous.
Well, he may have been. I mean, he was abusive anyway.
He was abusive, sexually assaulting her.
Yeah.
I think this was more of jealousy than being the great dad.
Yeah. Maybe he was just accidentally doing the right thing.
Yeah, but for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
The right thing for the wrong reasons.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
Excuse me. Using her lack of self-confidence, Fred preys on her, and within weeks of meeting each other, Rose became the nanny to Fred's daughters, Anna and Charmaine. Okay, so that's how they met and how he gets her to, I guess, move in.
Mm-hmm.
So her parents were aghast she was with Fred and called social services, which with good reason. I mean, it's that's a good move. She was then taken into a home for teens at the age of 15. And on the weekends, she was allowed to come home. But do you think she went home?
No.
No. She went and visited old Fred.
Did her mom, they didn't care. They wouldn't have cared
did
anyways.
They really,
it wouldn't have mattered.
Don't think.
Yeah. This whole story, both families here are pretty messed up.
Yep.
Yeah, they're messed up.
Right out of the gate. I don't think either of these kids, now adults, had any chance whatsoever.
Yeah, well, I mean, but they're still liable for what they do as adults. It doesn't matter,
Yep.
how once you become of age, it doesn't matter what happened to you when you were a child.
Yeah.
You're still liable for everything that you do.
Absolutely. So at 16 years old, she returns home to stay with her parents while Fred was serving a 30-day sentence for stealing. Bill tried to get Rose to wake up and leave Fred, but after an examination, it was noted that Rose was now pregnant with Fred's child. So this will be his 3rd child, who shouldn't have had one.
Mm-hmm.
She was then returned to social services again, but wouldn't be in there long before they let her out on the premises that she would abort the child and return home. However, once she was out, she went straight back to Fred. At this point, her family was like, we're done. Which, whatever. I mean, they were a crap family anyways. October 17th of 1970, at the age of 17, Rose gives birth to her first child, a daughter that they named Heather Ann. However, it is speculated that this child could have been sired by Rose's father. This, however, was never confirmed, was never proven true. But there was a possibility.
Could you even prove stuff like that back in the 60s?
I don't think we had the scientific means to do that then. This was the 70s, so I don't know.
I still don't know.
And then again, she may not have really cared whose child it was.
It sounds like this whole story is a bunch of people who don't care for anything.
Don't care for nothing.
Just evil people.
So Fred is arrested yet again in 1971 for theft. While he was serving a 6-month sentence, Rose is left to take care of his 2 kids and their newborn baby. According to Anne, who is the middle child at this point, she and her sister, Charmaine, was subject to verbal and physical abuse while under Rose's care. Charmaine refused to display any emotion when treated as such, which in turn would infuriate Rose even further. Telling Anne that their mom would soon come to rescue them, Charmaine believed her time with Rose was limited. She was correct. On June 15th, 1971, just 9 days before Fred would be released, Rose loaded the kids up for a visit with her dad. It is believed Charmaine was killed shortly after this visit. Forensic odontology confirmed that Charmaine had died while Fred was still in prison. A neighbor, Shirley Guile, who would later testify that she had brought her daughter Tracy one day to visit Charmaine, said that Rose had told her daughter Tracy, said she's gone to live with her mother and bloody good riddance. So when she shows up for this play date with her little girl, they show up to play with Charmaine, and she was like, she is not here, she's left, she went with her mom, and I'm glad, gone. Rose kept telling everyone that Charmaine had been taken back by her mother, Rena. Once Fred was home, Anne asked her father where Char was. He also insisted that their mother had come for her. Little Anne questioned why she hadn't been taken with her mom, and he told her, she wouldn't want you, love. You're the wrong color. Remember, this was that daughter that Rena was pregnant with the Asian man.
Yeah.
So it wasn't technically his child.
Mm-hmm.
Charmaine's body was initially stowed in the coal cellar until Fred was released from prison. He would later bury her naked body in the backyard. Fred was very adamant that he did not dismember her. So this tells me that
but her finger bones were missing, though, right? What didn't they say the finger bones were missing from her?
Yep. So, but Fred keeps denying that he did that. So
why
he's
would
throwing
anybody believe
this.
anything that
He's
Fred
throwing
had to
this
say?
right. He's throwing all. Which I mean, Rose did kill her. Fred was not able to. He was in prison.
Yeah.
So now he's telling us that Rose had, mutilated her body, and he's denied this consistently. Her body was severed at the hip, and I feel like this was probably so Rose could easily handle her.
Hold on a second. You mean like severed, like cut, or like cut in two?
Her body was cut in half. Fingers, her patella, her wrist, a toe, and an ankle bone were all missing from her remains. Keepsakes, perhaps? It's the only thing I can think of.
I can't wrap my mind around something like that, so I don't know why anybody would keep anything for any reason whatsoever.
Nope, me either. Rena sporadically kept in contact with her children each time she and Fred had separated, even though she left her kids there. Whatever, she's trying to be a good mom.
She's not a good mom. I don't care what she does.
Listen, if I knew how he was there, I think I'd have killed him myself.
Yeah.
I'd have killed him myself.
Have you seen that TikTok?
How can you leave your child?
You know what? Have you all seen that TikTok, you too, Lisa, where these moms, they ask them, and it's just a simple question. It says, would you kill for your child? And then it just shows these clips of these moms, and they're like, no, I don't think so.
Are you serious?
Well, I don't. This one woman's like, well, I don't know if I could or not. It depends on the situation. I just
Are you
don't
serious?
know. Yeah, have you not seen it? It's
no.
on TikTok. Look, you can not Google, but put in the search engine, would you kill for your child? And actually pause this. Let me find it, and then I'm going to play the sound on this of it. So pause this, and then when we come back, you'll hear what it is, and then I'll tell you why I'm doing this. Okay, so I'm gonna play it. Okay.
For your child.
No. I'm willing to do whatever it takes as long as it's legal. I mean, it'd take a lot. Like, that's a big thing to do. Would I kill for my kid?
Yeah.
Oh.
So it's a whole TikTok, and they ask several women, and they come up on the screen, and it's pretty much that. When I tell you that not only would I kill for my child, I would kill for somebody else's child.
Yes.
I would kill for a stranger's child to keep them protected.
Absolutely.
And these mothers saying that they would not bothers me. If somebody hurt one of my children,
oh yeah,
hurt them,
mm-hmm.
they need to run. And that is not a threat. That is a promise. And I don't know if it's the West Virginia coming out in me, but I'm pretty sure that the majority of the moms who listen to this are going to feel the same way.
I agree.
I would demolish someone over my kids, your kids, anybody's kids.
Yes.
If they're in my presence and their life is in danger or they are getting ready to be traumatized, whatever, somebody needs to run. Yes. I'm just telling you, somebody needs to run. And I'm the nicest person in the world. Somebody needs to run. Yeah.
That's insane.
Yeah. So maybe.
I can't even believe that's an actual, there's no hesitation. Absolutely.
Well, there's all kinds of moms on there too that duet that video. And they duet it, and they feel the exact same way that I do.
Yeah.
I mean,
your kid, my kid, any kid, I'm going to murder you. Yeah. That's like me. I'll go to jail with a smile on my face.
I mean, because you're mom. That's what moms do.
That's what moms do. We are mama bears. They call us mama bears for a reason. We will tear you apart.
Yeah. So for them to say, and that one woman going, you have to watch the video because the look on her face when she does that, and she's like, I want to actually.
Want to hit her. I don't know if I want to watch it. It's probably going to make me really mad.
It is going to make you mad. It's going to make you mad, but it's also going to make you feel better about the world because all the duets of the moms who are angry over this like I was when I saw it.
Yeah.
And several of them are holding their babies in their arms. Well, I would do whatever legal. What?
Whatever legal. Listen, you hurt my child and we're done and past legal. We are done.
We are past the law at that point.
We're done.
So, yeah. So, I don't know. Anyways, I went off on a tangent there because that makes me mad, Rose.
Gosh, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Rena had one time even visited her ex-in-law's home to inquire about her children and their whereabouts. Fred's sister, Christina, said that she had become anxious and depressed about her daughters even. She obtains Fred's address from her and went to discuss the custody of her children. So at this time, it's been a little while since she has heard from her kids. She is unable to get in contact with them. So she reaches out to Fred's sister, gets the address where Fred lives to go and obtain custody of these kids. And this is a story of too little, too late.
Mm-hmm.
This was the last time Rena was seen alive. It was believed she had died of strangulation. When they discovered her body buried close to a cluster of trees by a field, she also had been dismembered and placed into plastic bags.
Oh, my Lord.
A short length of metal tubing was found with her remains, which led investigators to believe that she had been restrained and subjected to sexual assault.
These poor children.
I know, it's a tragic. This is a heavy story.
It's a very heavy story, but
that's why I bought you Tums.
Yeah, it's a very heavy story. It's a very sad story, and I always like to say that, even though it is a story and you're telling it to me, not only did it actually happen,
it's actually a true story.
It actually happened. This pitiful, terrible story happened. It still happens today.
Every day.
That's what's so sad about this.
That nothing's changed since the 1950s, 60s, 70s.
Today.
No.
It still happens today. It's okay. Go on. I can go on forever. Go on.
Shortly after giving birth to their second child, May June was their second child named May June. The West moved from their Midland Road home to Cromwell Street. And here they had a 2-story home, and they converted the upstairs into sort of a hostel where you could rent a bed for a night or an hour or, however long. On the support of her husband, Fred, Rose began working as a prostitute to help supplement the income.
Well, you go, girl. There you go, getting you an outstanding job. Not only have you done some terrible things, you just keep on making the good choices.
She's got to help pay the bills somehow, I suppose.
I'm telling you. Good job, Rose.
So she would engage in casual fun with the people that lodged with them, as well as co-workers of Fred, who sometimes would watch through a peephole. So these co-workers of Fred's and these lodgers would come in. They would rent the room / Rose, and Fred had peepholes in all these rooms where he would watch. So he was a voyeur.
I don't even understand why these people are still like out in the open. Like, why?
I know. It's awful. It's so awful. Her father, Bill, was also said to have frequented the establishment to obtain Mandy's services. That was her working name.
What?
So her dad, Rose's dad, would also frequent...
No. Just stop. Just go on. Just go on. That's what I thought you... Just go.
Okay. So, no, you did not mishear what I said. Her dad come to see you.
Just stop and go.
Okay. Well, okay. Now, I'm not going to go into this particular part of her life because it does get very explicit. Very, very explicit. I researched this, and I genuinely believe that even though I gave you Tums, you would legit have a heart attack.
It's actually so bad that you're not going to read it to me?
It's so bad that I'm not going to read it to you or our viewers. Even though I'm placing a trigger warning disclaimer at the very beginning of this before we post this live, I'm not going into this. It's very rough. You are certainly welcome to go research this on your own.
I won't be researching on my own.
So, but if you want to read the whole story, by all means, you can go and you can research Fred and Rosemary West and read the full detail. I'm just giving you snippets because I know we have some younger viewers, so I don't want to get too explicit with my content. So I want to try to keep it friendly. I started to say family friendly, but this is not.
This is not family friendly. So, it's not. You can't even keep it friendly. But I can't imagine, and I'm not going to, how bad that it would have to be that you're skipping over it, because you've told me stories before.
Yes.
Oh my Lord, you've told me stories before that literally, I mean, my eyes probably would just like pop out of my head in some of the stories that you've told me. Not even on the podcast. Like I'm like.
Yeah, that's just over the 20 years we've been friends. It's rough. It is very rough.
Things don't really bother you. I mean, I know
they don't bother me.
They're awful things, but like you don't internalize them, I guess, the way that I do.
Right.
Like, so,
well, I read them, and the whole time I'm reading them, I'm like, dang. I was like, I really can't read this to a larger audience. I mean, I could. It would not bother me to. But it is very explicit. All right, so I just wanted to note that in. It got really rough. You can check it out.
And that doesn't mean, Elisa, that when we turn this off and I'm getting ready to leave, you're like, hey,
100%
Sam.
It does.
And then you're like, oh, let me fill you in real fast of the part that I skipped over.
Really? You're not going to let me?
Mm-mm.
You're not going to let me tell you?
No.
What if I just call and leave a really long voicemail on your phone?
Let's hang up. Okay, go on.
By now, Rose had 8 children, and 3 of those children were conceived with her clients.
And she probably had some STDs too, considering
she probably had a whole lot of
like a slew of stuff going on there, Rose.
All of their children were subject to verbal and physical abuse, and most of the time they were beaten for insignificant things, such as knocking over a bowl of water.
Loose. How is she loose? And at first I'm thinking that Fred is the worst one, but now Rose... Like, these 2 people are terrible.
I told you, they were meant for each other.
Okay, just keep reading. This is awful story. This is an awful story.
Okay, so I'm going to place a explicit content warning, trigger warning here. Talks briefly about rape. So if you're not comfortable with hearing this, please hit the fast forward button. I just wanted to give you... Sam doesn't get a fast forward button. So, like I said, it's not going to be as explicit as what I left out, but I still want people to be aware that there's a trigger warning going
Can you
forward.
just say...
I'll just tell you it's going to get rough here.
Well, don't just skim over it. Like, just skim it.
But you really need to know what they do to grasp
I don't really think that I do need to know.
Monstrosity of people that they are.
You don't think that I have grasped that?
Take a Tums.
Already from what you've already previously told me? I mean,
take a Tums. Ann West.
I've already taken 2.
Take a Tums.
Yeah, go ahead. Okay, so Elisa is cutting out a part after a long conversation because she started it and then I told her to cut the tape. You all are going to have to research this on your own, even though that she probably can say it without. I really don't feel comfortable like with this story at all. And I have hives going up my neck.
So I'm clearly pushing her to her limit, and
Yeah.
she's very vital to my show. So I'm going to reword this next section. Like I said, if you want, you can go and you can research it, and we'll go from there. So let me tell you just about. So in 1972, Fred and Rose led their 8-year-old daughter Anna into their cellar. What happened after she enters the cellar is absolutely horrific.
And yeah, we're going to leave it at that.
Absolutely horrific. That is all I'm going to say. I am going to kind of throw this in there. When this particular assault is going on, Rose has the nerve to tell her child, everybody does it to every girl. It's a father's job. Don't worry and don't say anything. So you can kind of get the gist of what happens.
Like, I hope.
But keep in mind,
there's no hope to it. I don't have to hope this. I know that those two people are absolutely burning in hell.
Yes.
And that gives me joy. That gives me joy.
Rose and Fred had been, they had grown up living this childhood themselves. And in their mind, they're thinking this is okay behavior.
Yeah.
Just like what he said with there in the beginning, at the age of 13, they forced their daughter Anne into prostitution.
Yeah, that
all of this they don't see anything wrong with. They feel it's acceptable behavior, it's normal behavior, and there's nothing normal about it.
I may need to put a picture of my face on there too, because I really do have hives going up.
Do you need some hydrocortisone?
Like at the side of my face now.
So sorry.
I like hives.
Okay. In October of 1972, Fred and Rose had employed Caroline Owens as a part-time sitter, who eventually moved in and roomed with their daughter, Anne.
Well, that's a mistake.
Caroline had said that Fred was always talking about his encounters, but it wasn't until he and Rose had actually made an advance on her that she decided to leave. She was like, no thank you, I'm not sticking around for this.
Well, good for her.
Peace. Knowing Caroline used to hitchhike along the A40, they decided to hatch a plan to abduct her. On December 6th of 1972, the couple lured her into their car with an apology of their prior behavior and promised to drop her off at her home. So once Caroline got in the car, Rose climbed in the back seat just to have a girly chat with Caroline. Soon after pulling out on the road, Rose began to assault her, while Fred was asking her some very personal questions about her and her boyfriend and their sex life. When Caroline began to protest and fight, Fred pulled over, called her a
bad word,
and punched her until she lost consciousness. Rose then bound her with duct tape and gagged her with a scarf. In the police report, Owens said that she was made to drink tea that had been drugged, and they proceeded to assault her for hours. And Fred even told Owens that they had assaulted and kidnapped multiple women.
I know that I have said this a million times, but the people who are listening to this have to be thinking the same thing that I am. How are these people still on the loose,
running around after all that
How
they've done?
Are they on the loose?
I guess people are just so good at concealing their true selves that they just look completely normal out in the world. Like, it's just bonkers. The next morning, one of the younger kids knocked on the door, and they threatened her that she better not scream. You better not say anything. Don't, act normal. They told her that she would be kept in the cellar and they would share her with all of their friends. Fred and Rose then offered her the nanny position back, which she accepted mainly because at this point in her life, she'd already left once and they abducted her. So she was terrified. She was fearing for her life at this time. So she was like, yeah, sure, I'll be your nanny. Later that day, while out at the laundromat with Rose, she was actually able to escape and return home. She eventually told her mother of the attack and kidnapping, and they reported it to the police.
God, I hope this is where you tell me that they got arrested or it was like a public hanging.
The Wests were charged and was tried January 1973.
Did they put him in front of a firing squad?
But Owens mentally could not face them for the testimony, and the sexual assault charges were dropped. Fred and Rose was charged with indecent assault, and they paid a fine of £50, which would equate to about $1,500 in today's money. They both walked free out
That poor
of
girl
the
was so
courtroom.
scared she couldn't even go
Testify,
to
and
testify, and there was nothing they could do.
When Owens heard this news, she attempted to demise herself.
Oh,
I can't.
I really appreciate you using the word demise.
You're
too.
welcome.
That's for me. I appreciate that.
It was for you, because
Yeah.
I would use the actual word.
I know you would.
Here we are.
I like how you're changing yourself a little bit.
Oh,
to
don't
make
get
me more
too
comfortable.
excited. You ready?
Unless you tell me that somebody that they're dead.
Dear God, there's so much more. Listen, this is a 11-page story. I might have to break this sucker down into a 2-parter. This is deep.
Okay.
I feel like we need a picture of your mouth right now because it's hanging on the floor.
I just don't know. I don't have anything. I don't have it. Like I was hoping that you were going to tell me that Rose was crossing the street and one of those double-decker British buses ran her hining over, and she was a greasy spot left over, and Fred ran to try to save her, and then another one came through and smacked him. So
okay. 19-year-old Linda Go, who had met the Wests when an acquaintance had introduced them, would soon have various affairs with their lodgers. When Linda's mother tried to contact her, she was told her daughter had struck one of the kids and was told to leave. When Go's dismembered body was found, the jaw was completely wrapped in adhesive.
Who was this?
This was Linda is their first known murder as a couple together.
Okay.
Sorry, I guess I should have reworded that.
Okay. Okay. And who was Linda?
So Linda was introduced to Fred and Rosemary West by an acquaintance.
Okay.
So they introduced her. She would utilize their hostel for rooms.
She's a prostitute. Was she a prostitute?
She would have various affairs with their lodgers.
Okay.
Yep. So when her mom tried to reach out and contact Linda, they told her that she had hit one of their kids, and they told her to leave.
Oh, they killed Linda.
So when her dismembered body was found, the jaw was wrapped in adhesive and surgical tape to silence her screams, and 2 small tubes, which had likely been inserted into her nasal cavities to allow breathing. Long sections of string and sections of knotted fabric were also discovered with her remains. They believe she had likely been suspended from holes carved into the wooden beams that supported the ceiling of the cellar. Fred later admitted he had devised this specifically for the purpose of suspending his victims' bodies, and she likely died of strangulation or suffocation.
How many more, I just don't know if I can sit through this or not. My heart is beating 90 miles an hour.
Do you need a shot of vodka?
Well, not this early in the morning. No, I wouldn't think so. But I just don't know, I just don't know how people can be like this. I swear, I'm so naive to the world. I'm just so naive to the world.
I hear cases all the time. One of my favorite podcasts, I keep telling you, they're the ones who inspired me to do podcasts, was Morbid.
Yeah.
Ash and Elena. I love Morbid. And they will tell stories I've never heard. And I'm like, it's just, you can't wrap your mind around how messed up humans are. You just can't, you literally just cannot. There's not even a word for how messed up people are. There's just not. Linda's dismembered body, which was missing 5 cervical vertebrae, the patella, and numerous finger bones, was buried in an inspection pit beneath the garage. It would later be determined all the couple's victims were probably killed right there. So let's talk about their next victim, Carol Cooper. 15-year-old Carol Cooper would be abducted November 10th of 1973 while waiting at the bus stop. She had just been out to the movies with her boyfriend when Fred dragged her into his car. It is believed she suffered the same horrible fate that Linda had. Once deceased, they dismembered her body and buried her remains in a shallow grave in the cellar. Now, let's talk about Heather West.
Let's not talk about Heather West too much.
Heather West was their youngest child.
Uh-huh.
So this was their child they had together. This was their younger child. So Heather had complained numerous times to her friends about the abuse she and her siblings were going through. Staff at the school also noted bruises and odd behavior at times from Heather. On one occasion, she was forced to take a shower, which I guess back then, like after you would do PE and stuff, like they would let you shower at school and stuff.
Yeah, there's
like that was a common, that was a common thing. Whereas like we don't really do that. You know, I've never heard of that happening here. But when she was in the shower, her teachers and staff had noticed her arms and legs and torso were covered in welts and bruises in various stages of healing. By the mid-1980s, rumors were stirring about their home life, as Heather had even confided in a few close friends. Unfortunately, one of those friends' fathers was good friends with Fred. From then on, Fred escorted Heather to and from school. So and you still hear about this. This is 2023 and you still hear about this. People not believing these children. Mm-hmm. You know, these children are confiding in friends. They're confiding in family, in, teachers, counselors, and nothing was done. Yeah. They seen the bruises. They seen all of, they could tell that she was clearly being abused, and nothing was done. Nothing was done. After she left school in 1986, she applied for a job as a cleaner. When she received the news that the application was turned down, her siblings said she, quote, cried throughout the night. You got to think this was probably her escape to getting away from these awful, awful monsters. So, of course, she was devastated when she didn't receive this job. This was not just a cleaning job to her. This was her lifeline. Mm-hmm. This was her way out. Yeah. So, of course, it was devastating to Heather. The next evening, when Heather's siblings returned home from school, their sister was nowhere to be found. Fred and Rose had told them she had indeed gotten the job and left. So let's talk a little bit about the fall of the West couple.
Hold on. Are you going to talk more about Heather? Or
just hold on to your britches. Just be patient, young grasshopper.
Just be patient.
Be patient, young grasshopper. The Wests carried out their torture and murders in the 70s, but their ugly business never really came to light until 1992. So most of their murders were in the 70s. They carried out most of these heinous crimes in the 70s, but they weren't actually apprehended until 1992. Social services were called in, and the 5 remaining children were taken into care due to child abuse allegations. Heather West had last been seen on June 19th of 1987, but she was never reported missing to the police.
Well, no, her parents aren't going to report her missing. They're the one that hurt her.
Over the course of months, social workers caring for her 5 siblings began to take note of their repeated, though offhanded, comments of their family joke that their sister was buried under the patio. In the summer of 1993, the police were told of these concerns, and 6 months later, having found no trace of Heather alive, police officers obtained a search warrant to search the West's home. Now, Fred West at first claimed he had seen Heather recently, but a day later, on February 25th of 1994, he admitted to killing Heather West. According to a police of timeline events, he and Rose were arrested the same day. As police questioning continued, Fred repeatedly changed his story, and Rose denying any knowledge, investigators uncovered a femur bone in the garden. When a pathologist then found 2 more femurs under the patio, later identified as belonging to Heather, police knew that they could potentially have multiple murders on their hands. Fred confessed on February 26 to killing 2 more women, One named Shirley Robinson, who was 18, and then another was identified by police as Allison Chambers, who was 16. The remains of both of these girls were later found in the garden at the West's home. On March 4th, West passed a handwritten note to his solicitor, lawyer, we call them lawyers, says that he wished to admit a further and approximate of 9 killings, expressly Charmaine, Rena, Linda Go, and others to be identified.
Now okay, let's go back to the guy that was in Clarksburg. If you've been listening through the whole thing, and if you've not, there's one, I don't know which one it is, but there was a serial killer, and I'm using air quotes when I say that, that she said was, he was a serial killer, and that the serial killer of Clarksburg, and he killed 4 people. He killed 4 people, right?
Yep.
Okay. It was a mom, 2 kids, and then some random woman.
Yep.
That was not a serial killer. I'm sorry. That was, I understand if it's 2 or more or whatever. That's not a serial killer. That, I feel like the mom and the 2 kids were counted as one, not
like
the less
one
than
event.
it, right? And then the other one was 1, so that was 2, not a serial killer. These people, serial killers.
Absolutely.
But you have not referred
So was Harry
them,
Powers.
But you have not referred to them as serial killers once.
No, because I'm telling you the story.
Okay, I'm just saying they're serial killers.
They're a couple serial killer. It's a love story. It's a love story. Within hours, West had been taken back to 25 Cromwell Street by police, where he pointed out spots where more bodies had been concealed. Remains later identified of the Swiss student Therese, and I'm going to butcher this name, and I apologize.
You've butchered a couple other words too. I've wrote them down.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Singenthaler, who was 21, Shirley Hubbard, who was 15, Lucy Partington, 21, Juanita Mott, 18, and 15-year-old Carol Ann, or Kaz, Cooper, were all found in the basement of this house. The remains of Linda Go, who was 19, were uncovered in the bathroom area. Over the course of 11 fevered days, 9 victims had been found in one end of the terrace of that family home. In April of 1994, the police went to their prior residence on Midland Road, where they uncovered the body of 8-year-old Charmaine beneath the kitchen. So this was Charmaine West.
That's terrible.
Fred later led the police to where he buried the remains of his first wife, Costello, and in June of 1944, Ann McFall's remains were found in the edge of that field. So let's look. So Fred, we know Fred had killed Anna McFall, who was 18 at the time. That was his children's nanny. She was also pregnant by Fred and disappeared in 1967. Mm-hmm. Fred also killed alone Catherine or Rena Costello, who was his first wife. She was last heard of in 1971. Now, the only person that we know that Rose had killed on her own was the child, Charmaine, which was Fred's daughter.
Which is like her stepdaughter.
Which was her stepdaughter, who was 8. So the couple had been known to kill Linda Go, Carol Ann, Lucy Partington, Therese, Shirley Hubbard, Juanita Mott, Shirley Ann Robertson, Allison Chambers, and of course his other daughter, or their other daughter, Heather West. Unfortunately, Fred would never face a jury. Taking the coward's way out, he was found dead in his cell from hanging. The public had mixed emotions with this, as some were happy and some felt robbed that these victims and their families never would receive justice.
Oh, they're receiving justice now because he's burning.
He is burning in hell, 100%.
For the rest of eternity. So you're good. You're good. He got his justice. They may not have got it, but I promise you, justice is being served.
Yes, it is. Rose West was sentenced to life in prison with 0 possibility of parole. Now, in May of 2023, after years in jail, Rose is still pleading her total innocence of every sickening crime she and her husband committed. Her daughter, May, after speaking with Good Morning Britain, She actually believes that her parents may still have up to 30 more victims that are unaccounted for. So how's that for a serial killer?
Wow. I mean, that's serial killers. That was a serial killer couple. I say the same thing all the time. It's terrible.
So this case was so vulgar and it was so brutal. And like I said, I left a lot of the details out. But I did want to put enough in to where we were able to paint a picture of what monsters these two people were.
Yeah.
So I feel like I gave you just enough to kind of embrace who they really were as despicable human beings.
I really appreciate you skipping over several parts. One that you said was bad enough, and then the other one you going back and changing it because, I was just uncomfortable.
You legit broke out in hives. I can attest to that.
The side of my face is
you should have. Did you take a picture of your hive so we can post it and share?
No, because I look like trash right now. So, but yeah, I've got I just like 2 or 3 little whelps on my cheek where I have a cousin that does that too. I think it's a family thing, but she's worse than I am. I wonder if anybody has other family like that. Like I have a cousin, her name's Chrissy, and you can say something to her and it doesn't matter what it is. And if she does not like it or uncomfortable,
she hides out
blood red. Like it's from her chest all the way up to her neck. And then it goes kind of up to her face a little bit, but it's just her chest and neck. And it's blood red. It's blood red.
No, I mean, I did throw a warning out. I gave you times. I tried to prepare you for the presentation of this case. Guys, feel free to research this on your own and read about them. It is truly awful. I did leave out a lot of very explicit detail. So many of these deaths could have really been prevented. And this goes all the way back to both of their childhoods and their own abuses. Like why were people not more aware back then, paying attention to these kids being abused?
Yeah.
Had more people listened and reported sooner to what Heather was even saying, maybe Heather would still be alive and we could have had more deaths even prevented.
All right. So let's stop talking about that for a second. Let's do something. So during the thing, I doodle. And even when I'm in a meeting or whatever, I always doodle. I'm that person that needs to just write. And I mean, I'll be looking at you or looking down, but I always write. So whenever she's talking, not only am I scribbling and doodling, but I'm also writing little notes. And one of the things that I noticed
because she's a teacher and she's probably
that she did several different times. She said something and I don't know if I felt like she didn't really say it to my liking. So I'm going to show her a word. I have it on a notebook and I want her to just say this word. Say that word.
Buried.
Okay. No.
Buried?
No.
Yes. I buried the dog.
No, it is buried.
No, buried would be Berried. I buried. Like you buried.
It is not buried.
It's buried.
No, ma'am.
Yes, buried.
I don't believe. You said that so many times and
buried.
It's during a very serious situation. And every time
and you were trying not to laugh?
I wasn't trying not to laugh. I was trying not to. Now you've got me thinking that I'm wrong. Is it not buried? It's buried.
Buried. B-E. They would be a E. Buried. I buried the dog.
That's not
Let's
true.
Go to the burial. Burr. B-U-R. Burr.
Yes, I get what you're saying. Like, I get what you're saying.
I hate the English language, man. It's so hard.
Yeah, like there's a G in lasagna and you don't say that. So I really don't feel like you're pronouncing this right.
I do. Lasagna.
Lasagna. No. And I don't think you're saying this right, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe you're like, I buried the dog. I buried that dog.
I buried the dog.
Well, that sounded British. No, it's I buried.
I just wanted to bring in Fred and Rosemary West. Channeling my inner serial killer.
Please don't do that.
Okay, guys. I hope this episode wasn't too rough. Please let us know if you like this episode. Comment. Let us know what you thought about it. Let us know how you say buried. We're always looking for new content and guest co-hosts. So you can email us at watchfordearpodcast@gmail.com. Follow us on Instagram at watchfordearpodcast. Go like and follow our Facebook page, Watch for Dear Podcast. And don't forget to go and like and follow the TikTok account. Watch for Deer podcast, because we're going to be putting some snippets we recorded today of her facial expressions when I say some of these things.
What is the
It's a good
email?
time.
What's our email again? Watch for Deer podcast at Gmail.
At gmail.com.
Okay.
Yep.
Please email her something different.
A feel-good story.
I
She
actually
wants
think-
a feel-good story.
I actually think that we need to like go away from true crime for like a hot second and just maybe do some ghost stories, because I think it's the true crime that's making my belly hurt. Because I can't get past the fact that like I really like I just keep thinking this is a real story. This really happened.
This really
and
happened.
It's really bothering me. Ghost stories, I really don't believe. I don't think they bother me they don't really bother me that much.
I'll grab maybe a folklore or like a paranormal story. And I'm down to even go with like fascinating history and stuff like that, because I'm a history dork, but that's
You're gonna
probably
have.
not very
I mean, I'm not
fascinating.
saying that I know all history, but you're gonna have to go.
Maybe you should bring me a story.
I could bring you a story, but it's going to be a good story.
Well, I'm okay. I mean, I'll just yawn and drink coffee, but yeah, bring me a story.
Maybe I'll bring you I don't know.
Bring me a story. We'll give you and your tummy a break. You bring me a story and I'll snore through it. So
Okay, I can bring you.
Okay, bring me a story.
So you snore through it.
So
I'm
you
a
heard
good
it here.
Storyteller.
you heard it here, right here. Samantha's going to bring us a story. We're going to flip the roles here
Pretty soon.
pretty soon. I don't know when. But thanks, guys. Thanks for listening. Be sure to go follow and subscribe on your favorite platform. That's what helps our podcast grow, and hopefully we'll be able to start monetizing and get some really good sound recording equipment.
So if that happens, and we do, because we only have to have a few more views before we can actually start making money, right?
Yeah.
And it won't be like a ton of money, but is it
No.
through advertisements? How does that work? Like when you handed me this
Yeah.
bottle of Tums, do I like say, I'm going to take my Tums now because my belly hurts because Elise is killing me? Tums, you can buy them at Walmart for $4.99 a bottle. Get them today. Is it like that? Or
So the first way we'll be monetized is once we hit 1,000 overall views, which I think we're sitting at about 400 right now.
Okay.
1,000 overall views within 60 or 90 days.
Mhm.
We're able to do a host read ads, which is be like, listen now on Amazon Music
and buy some Tums.
and those types of ads. But
I'm still going to do
and we
I'm
also
still
have to
gonna
have
do
followers
ads for
too.
Tums.
We have to have views. We have to have followers, actual followers. I think right now we're at 46
Mhm.
followers. Those are where you go. You follow the overall podcast. It will send you an alert when we drop new content, and those help our numbers as well. So if you genuinely love our podcast and you love hearing our banter and our stories, go like and follow, view, share with your friends. And I do have car decals that should be here this week, and we also have our t-shirt should be done in the next week. So I can't wait to share those with you guys. Hope to see you on the next episode. Y'all be safe and watch for deer.